topic today is about akad musyarakah. Before we start our presentation, let me introduce myself and my team. My name is Alvianty and my team.
Hello guys, my name is Seri Wahyuni and you can call me Seri. I am from East Belitung and now I'm studying in Taskia University as a student.
Hello guys, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nafisatul Hidayah. You can call me Nafis. I come from Riau and now I'm a student at Taskia University.
Well guys, the next discussion is about the learning objective for our discussion today. The first is the explanation of Musyarakah contract. The second is about the pillar of Musyarakah. And the third is the type of Musyarakah. And the last is the implementation of Musyarakah in Islamic bank. Well guys, after that I wanna explain to you about the definition of Musyarakah. Musyarakah, often called as syirkah, which means friends of the company or association. Well guys, the explanation about the musyarakah or syirkah, which means the collaboration between two or more people in an agreement to do business together, and the advantage or disadvantage are also determined according to the agreement. Well guys, for the second discussion is about the pillar of musyarakah or syirkah. The first is sigot. The second is al-aqidain, which means the subject of engagement, the requirement to become member of an association are a person with a reason, the second balik, and the third independent or not under test, and the last is mahalul aqd, which means the object of bond. Well guys, for the third discussion is about the type of musyarakah or syirkah. Type of musyarakah divided in 5 types. The first is syirkah al-amwal. The second is syirkah al-amal. And the third is syirkah al-wimfa. And the fourth is syirkah al-muwafadah. And the last is syirkah al-mudorobah. Well guys, that's all for me. For the next discussion is about the implementation of musyarakah in Islamic bank. Will be discussed with my team Nafisatul Hidayah. Time is yours.
Okay, in this occasion, I would like to explain about the implementation of Musyarakah contract in the Bank Syariah X. Musyarakah contract between Islamic Bank X and X University, which is engaged in education with the required capital of 80 billion. The capital owned by X University is 59 billion and a bank of 21 billion. In the initial agreement between Bank Syariah X and X University, with the assumption that the financing is carried out within a period of 8 years, starting from March 1st, 2004 until to March 1st, 2012. The agreed revenue sharing portion is 30% for the bank and 70% for the customer. The distribution of the profit sharing is every August at 31st, which is obtained from the income from the building fees received by University X from the students. In the last 8 years, it is projected that the amount of building fees received by University X will be as follows. We can see at the table. Okay, this is the table of the calculation of musyarakah contract in the Syariah Bank X and X University. We can see in here that the payment of the income or profit sharing is at 31st August, and we can see the contract is 8 years. So we can see in the table is we have in the debt for the profit sharing. Okay, that's we can see also the reception money of buildings from the students at each years, and we have the profit sharing is 30% for Islamic Bank, and X University get 70%. So we can got the profit sharing is like this. We can divide by the person of the each institution. Okay, the next we move to the counting records. How to record the counting of this transaction. Okay, in the above case, it's assumed that there is no loss, but there is a decrease in the receipt of building money in a certain period, which results in decreased revenue sharing. Okay, the counting records is like this. The first recording at the time of Musyarakah contract given to customer, we can record like this, financing Musyarakah and cash. And the next, in the initial implementation of this financing, X University was charged an administration fee of 3 million and notary payments for business financing approval Musyarakah. This is as 4 million completion of the calculation of profit sharing and recognition of income in financing, like this. So we can record as the debit as current account of customer, and the credit is administration income and notary account. And if we want to record the profit sharing, we can record like this at cash in the debit and credit in profit sharing income. There is two types of Musyarakah financing that's applied to Syariah Bank X. That is the first Musyarakah financing permanent, and the second Musyarakah financing decreasing. So that I have explained above, I have explained about the financing Musyarakah permanent and the Musyarakah financing decreasing. I will continue my explanation in the next occasion. Thanks.
Well, I will convey the conclusion of this video. Based on the theories and analysis submitted by my friends, there are several points that I can conclude. Point 1. Musyarakah intended as special financing for working capital, where funds from the bank are part of the customer's business capital, and the profits are divided according to an agreed ratio. The benefit of this contract is that it is more profitable because it is based on the principle of profit sharing, and the facilities provided are flexible repayment mechanism. So you could pay monthly or all at the end of the period. In addition, the risks involved in Musyarakah financing are relatively high, including the customer uses the funds not as stated in the contract, clients are often negligent in their business and make willful mistakes for their selfish reasons. Also, the hiding of profits by the customer if customers are not honest. And it is also difficult for financial institutions to obtain actual data. Point 2. Musyarakah that has been practiced by Islamic banking when viewed from the contract in the literature fiqh has been fulfilled. namely the existence of consent and kabul, or ijab and kabul. However, financing musyarakah not only seen from the contract but also in terms of business practice itself, how to determine the ratio for the result, as well as regarding responsibility for any losses. There are still several in Islamic banking, the same thing with conventional banks. This can be seen from the ratio for the predetermined result, and benchmark are not offered, as well as the nominal money that must be deposit by initially. The business risk of the financing agreement is not the responsibility of both parties, so that the customer becomes the loser, as well as the existence guarantees a management that is not practiced by Sharia bank according to the Musyarakah perspective of fiqh. This can be seen from its enactment guarantee of collateral as an absolute condition in financing the customer. Because of the things above, the Musyarakah financing is carried out in Islamic banking has an element of usury in the practice of Musyarakah. Point 3. The accounting treatment for Musyarakah investment in Sharia Bank Acts is in accordance for PSAQ number 106. The accounting application includes recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure. Musyarakah investment in Sharia Bank Acts consists of permanent financing musyarakah and declining musyarakah. The principle of revenue sharing for musyarakah that is recognized by Sharia Bank Acts is revenue sharing. So the expenses and the costs incurred in musyarakah financing cannot be recognized by the bank as a reduction in the profit sharing that will be received by the bank in the current period, except for expenses that will occur at the beginning of the financing contracts. Musyarakah investment operating income is recognized all the agreed share of the passive partner. Meanwhile, losses on musyarakah investment are recognized in accordance with the portion of the funds. And for losses that occur in musyarakah investment, they usually do not experience a large value, because what happens in every case at Sharia Bank Acts is that the portion of the profit sharing received by the bank decreases. Well,
Okay guys, thank you for your attention and thank you for watching. I hope you all in good condition and stay safe. Sorry for many mistakes.
thank you for listening. Bye.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.